A land fit for heroes. A line from the 1942 Beveridge Report, which formed the blueprint for social change in post-war Britain. What's more, those heroes didn't just come from the British Isles. Many came from places like the Caribbean islands and South Asia. Britain suffered huge labour shortages as a result of the war, so the word went out to all the colonies of the empire. Thousands from the Caribbean answered the call, persuaded by the prospect of a steady job with a good wage. They became known as the Windrush generation, named after the ship the HMT Empire Windrush, a British troop ship which carried the first group of post-war West Indian immigrants to Britain. Many worked in areas like transport, the newly formed NHS and the construction industry. And despite contributing greatly to the UK's post-war recovery, many members of the Afro-Caribbean community faced extreme racism and hostility from the local population. Now, these Commonwealth Memorial Gates in London commemorate the contribution of South Asian soldiers to the Allied war effort. Now, like the Windrush generation, many did emigrate to the UK straight after the war, but the vast majority came as a result of the 1948 Nationality Act. Now, this essentially granted British citizenship to people from Commonwealth countries. They came here to start a new life and help rebuild their adopted country from the ravages of war. One of those people was Sudhir Misra, who came to Britain from India in 1952. Did you have a lot of interaction with English people when you first arrived, and what were they like?
They were all very friendly. We were all recovering from the war.
But as the years went on, that friendly attitude slowly changed.
They were getting more hostile, not so much as work, in accommodation. Right. We used to go to house to find whether we could stay there, and you know, they used to like put a notice there, no dogs, no Irishmen allowed. And when this, so a couple of times I went, you know, for accommodation. They had agreed on the phone. When they saw my face, they said, let up.
For Sudhir Misra's generation, their priority was to find work and provide for their families. But as more immigrants came to Britain, the aspirations of their children were very different to their parents. Deepak Rathi's family originally settled in Dundee in Scotland in the late 50s when he was 5 years old.
Our parents had a very narrow aspiration. That's for success in life. Success meaning material and success meaning academic. You know, go up the career ladder, which is all right. But I think for us as well, our aspirations changed a bit in that we wanted to see more of the world, know more people, have a broader view of the world.
That sense of independence from Deepak and others from their generation helped drive huge social changes in Britain from the late 1950s. There were new laws for racial and sexual equality, reforms to education, more rights for women at home and in the workplace. None of these rights were easily won, but the changes in the years following the Second World War most definitely laid the foundations for the multicultural society that Britain is today. Rahul, Pathak, CGTN, London.